Welcome to episode 3 of Rewire podcast. Ho ho ho! Merry Christmas! Damn, bro, say Merry Christmas to the crowd.
Merry Christmas, everybody!
We're excited to be here, but today we're gonna do something different. I'm gonna break the ice. You ready?
Break
Check
the
this
ice.
out. What do you call two monkeys that share an Amazon account? Primates.
What? Primates?
Primates.
Oh, that's okay. That's
Anyways,
funny.
all right. Okay, that joke. So, what's been new? How's your Christmas?
Christmas is good.
Yeah.
Yeah. We hosted a little thing here. It was fun. Good. Speaking of Christmas, I want to start this podcast off right or differently.
Oh, okay.
Bring it in, babe.
What's going on?
I got a little something for you that I want to get on
What?
video. Yeah, man.
Oh shit! Oh my gosh! This is. Oh, it's heavy.
Yeah, so be careful with it. But I thought of you, so
Oh
I
my
want to give you
gosh!
this.
Can I open it?
Of course.
Okay. This is. Holy shit! Okay. No. Stop it! Are you serious, bro?
Yes, don't drop it.
No, I won't drop it. Hold on. Maybe I should put it this way. I'm gonna cry. I'm still a thug though. This is amazing.
Yeah, so
Dude, thank you so much.
hey, you're welcome. So I want to give you that. I know you got a smaller one recently, but I want to give you something that it's a lot nicer.
Wow.
It holds a lot more cigars. And speaking of cigars, here's a one up on that one. I want you to open that one.
Oh no. Oh
Yes,
my
sir.
gosh.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So this is a nice gift
First,
from me.
let me face it. Y'all have to see it. Beautiful. Look at this. Oh wow. This is. Oh man. Gosh, this is a lot, man. That's.
So you haven't had this one before, but put the humidor down and then show the camera.
Oh yeah. Hold on.
I want to explain that one. So that's an Atabey. That's one of my most desired cigars. It's very expensive and you can't get it in Canada. That cigar, if you watch my video, I speak very highly of it. I brought that back from Texas. It's such a good cigar, man. The quality on that. And in the video, I said, you give it to someone you respect, and I respect you. So I want to give you that one.
Dude, I appreciate
that
it
one
so
is a
much.
really good stick. So when
Yeah.
you smoke that one, take your time, enjoy it. Don't be in a rush. Like that one deserves your time.
Wow, dude, I'm speechless, man. That's crazy. That means a lot.
Very expensive. That's a USD price, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
And you can't get that in Canada. I asked Joseph the last time yesterday or the other day when we were in the shop. I was like,
Yeah.
hey, can you guys get Atabey? He's like, no, can't get them. Too expensive.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's a really nice one, bro.
I
hope you enjoy it.
Cigar.
Yeah, because I love those cigars, man. Those are really good, really high quality.
Wow, dude, that's crazy, man. That's a crazy Christmas gift, man.
Yeah.
Means a lot. Honestly, I didn't get much this year at all, really. So that's huge. I appreciate that, man.
You're welcome.
I really do. Hold on, I'll have to get off the camera. I need to put it away. All right, I was trying to break the ice, but as you can see, you did a better job. But then again, man, thank you very much. I'm gonna cheers the coffee.
Cheers,
that we
bud.
got today. Means a lot. Means a lot, really. Oh, I can't wait to smoke that cigar.
I can't wait for you.
Yeah, it has to be like the perfect time. That's one of those. That's one of
Yeah.
those. Perfect time, perfect spot for the right
That's right.
occasion.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so shocked by what just happened. This wasn't script, just so y'all know. So, yeah, man, that's huge. You threw me off. Yeah, I had a game plan, and now I'm thrown off.
Everyone has a plan to get punched in the face by a nice cigar and a humidor.
Yeah, that's a big humidor too. So
That's a nice one.
Yeah.
And I think this is one thing I learned about cigars, bro. You want to smoke them. You don't want them to age in there forever. They're already aged. And the more they age, I find they mellow out. So that humidor is like the perfect size to have your collection. Like you basically have enough stock to smoke your cigars, but not to the point where it's so big that you have so many cigars and you're leaving it.
Yeah.
And by the time you get to it, it's mellowed out. And
No, for sure.
If you read in the forums, the longer you age your cigars, they seem to mellow out. So I think it's going to be a good starting point for you, or just a awesome, humidor. You can put it on your desk too. It looks nice.
yeah, no, it looks really good. It looks better in person. I don't know how the video will capture it, but no, that's amazing. I'm really excited about it. Yeah, so guys, going to the new year, it's going to be exciting. New year, new resolution. For the people for 2025, what's kind of your wish for our audience. Like what you think people should strive for this new year with just how everything's going. I mean, I think this year is different. A lot of lesson was learned in 2024, but now
Yeah.
going to 2025, I know, we always say new year, new resolution, new me, whatever the case is, but kind of what's your thought for the audience, for people?
For people in 2025, I think we're moving into a year of stability, or years of more stability.
Yeah.
I feel like the last few years, maybe even more than a few years, has been so volatile.
That's true.
Like,
actually,
just with everyone, well, with these people in office running these countries, and just the state of the world, right? So much volatility. So at 2025, I think people are going to start to finally get back on their feet and hopefully position themselves,
Yeah.
accordingly.
Yeah.
Because like the last few years is crazy, man, in the markets, in the world. So, and I feel like, yeah, just like I want to go back to normal life, and I hope we can attain that next few years.
Yeah,
And,
for sure.
something, at least something close.
Something
It
close
feels
to
like
it.
we're going there.
Yeah, it definitely does. And I think the way we need to approach it, and one thing I can tell people is it's time to take risks again, and I can understand that with vid and everything like that, it was really tough, it was scarcity, people trying to protect themselves
True.
and things like that, and trying to play it safe. But I think, like you said, going to this time of stability, I think people should go out there and take a bit more risk. I
Yeah.
think it's the year where you got to put a foot down, where things are in a better place. Like interest rate are dropping a little bit
Yeah, that's true.
with housings and things like
Yeah.
that. But I think it's time to do that.
Yeah, no, I would agree with that. I feel like in the last few years, if you take risk, you either have high reward or a high loss.
Yeah.
Because it was so volatile. But we're moving into a more stable time with the economy. So therefore, you should be able to take more risk, and it's not going to be as risky. Like
Yeah.
the volatility is not as crazy.
Yeah, for sure.
So it would be the time to take risk, take little bits of risk, maybe get some reward. And it's not as scary to take that risk.
Yeah. And I mean, although it's a new year, like don't go out there and try to change everything in one shot, like trying to change
Yeah.
your life, or
That's
like
important.
after one day, right? But just take time to self-reflect. Where were you last year? What are the things that you struggle with? All right, attack them and just be better next year and every year.
Yeah.
Just improve from the last year. We're just looking for improvement, right?
Yeah.
And it's just going to compound into something, because you don't know how much one year can change your life, really.
Yeah, that's true. And I would say, like, to add on to that, one thing I've learned greatly in the last few years of my life, I was always a person who likes to move fast and attack fast. Basically, I have a game plan, and attack, and
Yeah.
I want the results right now. But the older I get, the more I understand about compounding and just taking your time.
Yeah.
Play the long game.
Mhm.
It's less stressful. It feels less riskier if you have a plan, you stick to it, opposed to just going all in, high risk, high reward. Like if you just pace yourself, you could do really good.
Yeah.
And so now, like moving forward, I'm creating plans for like a long-term game. Like every time I made a plan was like for the next year, the next 2 years, 3 years. I had an idea of where I want to go in the next 10 years
Yeah.
or whatever. But now I have like in my mind, I'm like, okay, I want to get here. These are the steps. I'm not going to rush them. I'm going to take my time approaching each one, and I'm going to try and hit each one, but I'm not in a rush.
Yeah.
And I think that's important.
Yeah, that's definitely big. And like you really said it. It's just making a long-term plan, but don't rush with it.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, you have to stay like in the course. Like once you start, you'll be surprised. It feels like you're moving slow, but you're not, right? And try not to compare yourself to other people and things like that. Everybody has their own timeline. So the way that you're going to approach this new year, just an advice from me to you guys, the audience, is really take it day by day, right? Stick to it. So which comes back again to the discipline aspect of it. And once you do, you will be able to get the roads and really enjoy the process. I think that's the fun part, right? It's going to be the process at each step, celebrate the success, celebrate the failure, and be like, you know what? Yeah, it didn't work out, but it makes you better. And that's the whole beauty of it, right? What makes it nice is you looking back and being like, oh man, remember that time? Or, oh, that was kind of funny because I thought we were going to lose everything, but we didn't. Like those are the moments that you kind of strive for and want to look back. And just remember that this year is going to be the year where progress is going to start, where you're going to make those changes and you're going to start, moving forward. So there's one thing that was very interesting. Since we were in the topic of risks, and it's just kind of came to me. Being well traveled is it's so important, right?
Yeah.
And the little risk that we took, whether it's moving, countries, whether it's moving provinces, whatever it is. What were the benefits for you?
Was that for traveling?
Yeah, so you've been to obviously to the States and stuff, different countries, and like you had such different experiences at different spots, right?
Yeah,
and it gives you such a perspective on life.
You know what, you have too, and I think that's why we click, because like in our younger years we did a lot of traveling, and if you really think about us, like who we are from a step back,
Yeah,
we're very similar. But one thing I notice is like we think differently in terms of Canadians or Americans who have never left the country.
yeah, that's true.
Like we have way more appreciation and understanding for the country's indifferences or problems. You know, like Canada's not perfect, America's not perfect. The other issues and stuff, but we don't really see it like that. Whereas like when people are here, if they never left the country before, they don't have anything to compare to, so they're like, oh my god, this is the worst country. Like we did so many bad things here. It could be so much better. It's like you haven't seen what else is out there.
It's all perspective too, right? Because Canada is not perfect. Don't get me wrong.
No country,
and maybe it was better before, and then now things change. But compared to some other places, we have it real good.
We have it amazing.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I noticed about you ever since I met you. You've never once brought up like, I wasn't successful because of Canada. I wasn't successful because I'm a colored person.
Yeah.
I wasn't successful because of this. Never. You never brought that up once. It was never like a roadblock. Never.
No.
But to prove my point, I know a lot of people that I grew up with that are people of color or just people who have, disadvantages or whatever it may be. They will blame the system.
Yeah.
But you never blame the system. And I would say I have not blamed the system either. We always just try to find the solution to move forward.
That's it.
Like, yeah, shit sucks. Okay, that's a problem. All right, what's the next thing? We never ever, get stuck on something.
Yeah.
This idea.
And it's also because like I think we're in a place where we have opportunity. Yeah. The reality is we don't have the same start, but we have access to the same things, right? The education, like whatever it is. So whoever is in power or whoever is the president, prime minister, whatever it is, it shouldn't stop you from becoming better or becoming more successful, right? Whatever you do, because there is people that are. Canada sucks, but there's people out here spending money like when we saw yesterday. Yeah. There is somebody while let's say the country is struggling with a $3.8 million car. So what? With a collection. That means that there is people still succeeding. So it's not about the country. Okay. It's not about the country. It's all about you. We all have the same time.
It's literally it all comes down to you.
Yeah.
Like it goes back to your point. And I think we have this realization because we did travel a lot. You move from country to country. Yeah. We've had, me and this guy, we've been in shelters when we were younger, like our moms and stuff were in the shelter. We grew up poor. Our parents fled other countries to come here and, make something. So we have this perspective. We've been back to our homelands. We've seen it from a young age. We've seen it develop, into what it is now. But I think that's what gave us like this kind of like immunity to this victimhood or this victim mindset. Yeah. Like we don't think about it like that.
No,
I don't. I feel bad for everyone in other countries. I'm like, damn, like we have it good here. I wish they had the opportunity we had. Because I know if I was in their shoes, we wouldn't have the same thing. But what you're saying is so enlightening because right now, I would say, like economic times are hard. Prices are up. Homes are fucking expensive. Yeah. Interest rates are coming down, but affordability is through it's unaffordability. Honestly, it's just everything's so expensive. But after our cigar yesterday, we went to is it Porsche or Porsche? How do you say it? That's the whole thing, right?
Oh yeah. I just say Porsche.
Okay, I'm gonna say Porsche.
Yeah, Porsche or Porsche, whichever.
But the enlightening part was this: we had our cigars. We had a nice conversation. Alex brought me out to the Porsche dealership. I've never been in there. I've always wanted a Porsche. So he brought me there. And when we're in there, there's people spending money. There's people that have $200K, $300K to spend on a fucking car.
Yeah.
We got the private tour to see the vehicles that are being worked on. This guy says they're $2 million, $3 million each.
Yeah, it was amazing. Like, first of all, the service. The service was great, and we got to learn more about just a history behind the brand. But seeing people there shop and seeing the cars that were being worked on, and for people who are into cars, there was like one GT3, 3 GT3 RS, and we all know that those go for at least Canadian 400,000 to 500,000 Canadian. They've been worked on. That means people own them. right?
Yes.
People are driving them. People are just doing the maintenance.
The money's moving.
The money's moving. And we saw a Porsche 918, $3.8 million.
This guy was losing his shit.
Yeah.
I had no idea. Like, I want a Porsche ever since a young age, but I don't understand. You know, I'm not in the car realm like he is.
Yeah.
So everywhere that this associate brought us, and I want to give a big shout out to them because they were so respectful of our time. They were so good to us. And we didn't come in there looking flashy or nothing. It was just pure questions and curiosity.
For sure.
But Alex was losing his marbles, seeing all these vehicles. Yeah. He's like, we went downstairs into the Porsche dealership, and the first reaction is, Alex, oh my God. Oh, whoa, no. And I'm sitting there like, what's going on? I'm like, what are these vehicles?
I felt like a kid in a candy store. Like, it's just crazy because those, first of all, everything that was downstairs was like owned by people, right? Yeah. And all of this, like, you need a crazy allocations. Like, you don't come across that. You can go to a show and see one or two, but seeing like 3, like 4, a GT3, 2 GT3 RS, an older 991 GT3, and then a 918 being worked on, like, it's crazy. And we all know that the 918s, like, you don't see them. The trilogy, 3 cars. You got a LaFerrari, you got a McLaren P1, and then you have the 918. Like you. If you're a car person and you tell them like you got money to blow unlimited money, you get those 3, and then the rest almost doesn't matter. Like that's how badass they are. And we got the chance to see one. It's my first time seeing one live. I know it's been like the maintenance was been done, but it was just such a great experience. And I think this is why just Porsche have such a loyal kind of fan base or customer base.
Yeah.
Because from the get-go, he wasn't trying to be like, oh yeah, we're better than the others. Never. They're like, this is what we do best. Yeah. This is who we are.
Yeah.
And it's the salesman wasn't even like trying to convince or sell because he knows, and he was so confident of what the car provides that like it doesn't matter from which car brand you come from, there's gonna be one for you. And you can make it your own, which was the beauty of it, like to the T. So great experience. Shout out to Porsche. Amazing service. I definitely recommend them if you're shopping for one.
Yeah. If you're in Calgary, go check them out.
Yeah.
100%. Well, you know, they treated us very good. We walked in there like we looked like, you know.
Yeah, it was,
bummy,
I mean, yeah.
They treated us
smelling
maximum.
like smelling like cigars. And
maybe that's why he respected us. He's like, oh, old money here. That was our giveaway. That was the giveaway, you know. The cigar smoke.
And it's crazy, you know, and it was great. It was a great experience. And I encourage people, if you have the opportunity, whether it's Porsche, whether it's your dream brand, your dream car, whatever that you think that you want later on, go for it, you know?
Yeah.
Like if your goal is to have a home or whatever, go see the show homes. Like live it, breathe it, you know?
You know, that's actually something that can go back to your point for like, what do we want for the audience? And I think, you know, like dreaming and manifesting, like that's very important. I know for me, before I bought a house, I would always drive around and look at houses, bro.
Yeah.
I'm always looking at the market. Like when I used to live in Ontario, I used to go to Aurora on the side roads and the back roads and stuff, and you'd see all the big acreages and properties.
Yeah.
Man, and I would just dream of those. And now we have a house. It's not, you know, an acreage or whatever, but it helps you dream and it helps you get like motivated. It's almost like this thing that gets you going, you know, like it's a reminder. Like
exactly.
One day this can be it.
Yeah, it's a bit like manifestation in a way, right? But then if you think about it, from the time you were thinking about, you know, a home or like that was like, okay, this is my next goal. It felt long, but now that you look back, it came quicker than you thought it would.
Yeah, it didn't feel too long ago. Felt like yesterday I was just driving there. And I remember vividly too. I remember the roads. I remember the speed. These are things you just don't forget. And going to that Porsche dealership, it's almost like the same experience.
Yeah.
And it was really cool that you brought me there because you knew like I like the Porsches. Well, I've always wanted a Porsche.
Yeah.
And like you like,
it
you see me. It suits you, right? So I was like, it was cool to see like someone help me dream because I've never had someone influence me on that level. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like I always had to go out and just do it myself or think about it myself. Yeah,
it's nice. And it was really cool. Like he sat, he was sitting and he sat and then he's like, oh gosh, I'm gonna do something crazy with this car.
Yeah, man. I sat in this thing. I'm like, I'm gonna kill myself. This is, I already know. Like this, the way I drive my Raptor, I'm like, yeah, this is gonna be way faster,
way lighter,
way lower, way lighter. Like I know I'm gonna have to take it to the track and really practice. Because if I just take it on the road, bro, I'm gonna crash into a fucking pole or some shit. Just going way too fast.
No, it was great, and yeah, now it's just like it's in the bucket list, right? It's like it's part of that goal.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a beautiful thing, and I think going to this new year, we encourage everybody to do that. Whatever your goal is, live it, embody it, and that's something that you should practice every day. Every day, practice that, and yeah, just keep that in the back of your mind.
So, what do you think about becoming the 51st state?
Oh shit. That's really interesting. Personally,
Tons of controversy.
yeah, a tons of controversy with that. This is how I see it. If Trudeau's reelected or some crazy like that happened, I'd rather be a 51st state
100%.
than be under Trudeau again.
100%.
If Pierre wins, I think we're good. I don't think we would need to be the 51st state. I think we would go back to the I think he wants to bring back where Canada was. Like there were a time where we were dollar for dollar with the States. You know what I mean? There was a time where we were right there, where going to the States, shopping was cheaper.
That's actually kind of true. I remember you go to Buffalo on the weekends and shit.
Exactly.
Come back.
Yeah.
But then it starts to get, it's fucking expensive, man. Fuck.
Yeah. So
like that cigar. We get on that cigar.
Oh yeah, no. Listen, if I saw that here, I wouldn't get it, man. That's crazy. At least not now. But for the 51st state thing, that's how I see it. I think if Pierre wins, it's not even something I would consider. But the issue now for Pierre is that he's gonna have to undo what our Mr. Trudeau has done, and that's gonna be the tough part. So think about it: 4 years, let's say, to fix it. And it's like, when does he have the time to implement the new things? But I do think there's a lot of stuff that we can take. And I think Pierre kind of have that mindset that we can use to improve ourselves from the States. Because one thing for sure, you may like Trump or you may not like Trump, but in every room that he got with, whether it's China, whether it's Russia, like whoever, he gains respect.
Yep. That's true.
Right? If you look at the summit,
love her to hate him.
Yeah.
You know what's painful, bro? Obama made a joke saying he'll never be the president. Donald Trump wouldn't be the president.
Yeah.
And like in front of everyone, just roasting him.
Yep.
Now he's the president again.
I continue to believe Mr. Trump will not be president.
Donald Trump has been saying that he will run for president as a Republican, which is surprising since I just assumed he was running as a joke.
Twice.
Yeah.
So it's, and now what's the reaction now?
That's
Get
true.
wrecked.
Yeah.
He has the respect, man. You have to give it to him, whether you hate him or love him. He gets it done.
He gets it done. I think a lot of people look at the news, the antics, whatever he says.
Well, that's all it is.
But look at the plan. Like nobody looks at the plan and what he did for the economy, for the States. Like he's making plans. He's trying to make them bigger, trying to make them a powerhouse again. Like there's a lot of stuff that he's trying to do. So I think at least to fix ourselves again, we can take a page out of that book. At least the assertiveness, the approach. Like I know Canadians are known to be nice, and don't get me wrong, I'm really happy and proud to be Canadian, but not under this administration. It doesn't, and so many people gave up their citizenship to go to the States.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this question: what does it mean to be Canadian?
I know what it used to mean.
What did it used to mean?
I think like it used to mean there's the freedom. It felt very inclusive. It felt like it doesn't matter for which country you came from. You felt really welcome. You felt respected because everybody respected that we got this land for, we came here for opportunities, whether you're from whatever the continent, like Africa, whether you're from the States, whether you're from India, like whatever it is, you felt like there was a peace and you had your little community, but now it's out of whack. I think immigration is out of hand. I know things are trying to get rectified, but it's gone pretty far.
Yeah.
We don't feel like, I don't want to say that we don't all have the same opportunities, but I think when it comes to minimum wage class has been taken over by one over the other. If you know, you know. And yeah, I just think the essence of being Canadian has been lost. But I still love the country though. But I don't know if it continues that way, if the future is that bright for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what do you think? Like, what does it mean to be Canadian for you today? Like, what does that represent?
Yeah. Well, see, that's my issue. I don't know what it means to be Canadian anymore.
Yeah.
And I think what you said, you touched on it. Like when we were growing up in Canada, everything felt very free, very equal. Like it felt like we never had a race issue growing up. I never noticed it.
Yeah.
I grew up around all kinds of fucking cultures and people, you know,
Yeah.
and I lived not just in one city my whole life. I lived in many: Mississauga, Brampton, Toronto, Bradford, Newmarket. Like this is across the GTA. So I got to see different samples. And to me, race was never an issue. I guess on the smaller side of towns, like I could see it kind of being more of an issue. But, you know, growing up in the inner city and things, I never thought about race or a culture being a problem per se. I don't know. It just felt like Canada was free and everyone's just living their lives. It never felt like I had to worry about certain things like I
Yeah.
do now. Like
Yeah.
now, if I go to Ontario, I'm like, okay, there's a lot of crime there. I know there's certain people you don't fuck with. I know there's certain areas you don't go.
Yeah.
I know like if you see a certain type of people, like this is the problems that could happen, or these are the consequences. Like these are real, and people didn't like. This is a reason I left Toronto many years ago because I already seen this shit trending.
Yeah.
You know, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get out of here. But and just affordability. But yeah, like the dream is unattainable anymore. The States is just starting to talk about it now. Like the American dream, it's going to be hard to attain because houses in LA are 600, 800K USD. We've been having that problem. You know, we're ahead of them on the whole unaffordability scale. So it's hard to be I don't know, make this dream come true of being a Canadian. I don't know what it means to be Canadian, bro. I honestly don't. If I asked you and I asked like 100 other people, everyone's going to have different,
Yeah.
you know, definitions. But I bet you if you ask like 100 Americans, the American dream is always like, yeah, become successful, become free, you know, like become financially free or whatever.
Yeah.
That's the whole American dream. But for the Canadian dream or being a Canadian, I don't know what it is anymore. And I don't,
What was the Canadian dream?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. See, like, I don't even know what that is.
Yeah. I don't know what's a
I
Canadian
never really
dream.
thought about it like that. And so it's like, okay, if you can't define the Canadian dream or what it is to be Canadian, how do you have pride for the country, right? I would love to have pride for my country. I just need something to be prideful about. And as of recently, there's nothing to be prideful about. We have expensive housing, expensive groceries, high tax system. The government's a bunch of fucking idiots. You know, like Trudeau and the finance minister. I had a piece on her on the last podcast. And then look, it was true, you know, like $62 billion in debt. Like it's clown world here. It's clown world. And I don't know. There's just nothing to be proud about. So it's like, so when they say, you know, Trump jokes about becoming the 51st state, and I go to the States a lot, spent a lot of time there over the last decade. I spent a lot of time there in a lot of different states. And I think there's a lot of things that we could pull from the States, but just the States in general, they're just so much of a bigger beast economically, financially, business wise. Like there's so much more going on. There's so much more competition, and competition drives innovation, and innovation drives prices. And that's why their affordability is so much better than ours.
Yeah.
And yeah, like, and if I think about being American, I feel like, yo, I want my gun. I want my protection. This is my home. I'm protecting my family. You know, I can become financially free because I have so much opportunity here in terms of business.
Yeah.
We talked about this the other day.
Yeah.
In Canada, if someone breaks in through my front door and with a gun and tries to, you know, hurt me or my wife, if I kill him, I go to jail.
That's true.
Or what's the alternative? He kills me.
You call 911.
Yeah, I call 911 and
While
hope
you're
to God, oh
bleeding
my
out.
God, you know, 5, 10, 15 minutes, an hour before the cops get here. I hope he doesn't do anything. It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
That is so ridiculous. And then you go to the States and it's like, okay, someone comes into your front door with a gun. You just blast them. Cops say thank you. Like that's to me, that makes sense. If I go into someone else's house with a gun, you forfeit your life.
That's true.
And what was the last thing? Oh yeah, I told you the other day. I went for my pal's license, so my gun license, and you're treated like a criminal in Canada. And I totally disagree with it. I totally freaking disagree with it. You know, I think in America, like it's a little bit loose over there. Like, you know, they can just get guns at certain ages and stuff. I think you need a little bit of training and then you should be able to get your gun. But here it is so fucking hard to get your gun license and be a legal gun owner, and you get punished for it. And I just totally disagree with it. And it's embarrassing.
Yeah.
The amount of time I spent on the phone with these freaking people just trying to get my license is stupid. It's a waste of time. They should be paying me. I pay taxes here. Now you're wasting my time. I want to be compensated. Seriously, why do we pay taxes here? I'm a criminal for what?
No, that's true.
But see how like, oh man, it just gets me going, you know, like,
Yeah.
but it's true, man. Everything you try and do in a sense of freedom, it's like, oh, blocked. Like
Yeah.
Canadian government doesn't want you to do anything.
Like even the censorship, right? Like
Oh,
what you
dude,
see,
that's
it has to
another
be Canadian.
topic.
And like, I'm not saying that, especially if you want to push content or whatever it is,
Yeah.
like that you can't. But we're so stuck.
No,
it's
we're doomed.
unreal.
You see that bill?
Yeah,
Bro, that bill that basically makes, if you're in Canada and you're using ISP from Canada, internet service provider, you're only allowed to see certain things.
Yeah.
So if there's other content in the other countries, specifically politics against Canada or regarding Canadian this in a negative way, or like something they don't want you to see, it will say this is not available in your country.
yeah.
And that's due to the bill. And this is something. This is another reason I get so mad.
Everything's so controlled.
Well, dude, this is why I get so mad when I say, "Oh, what does it mean to be Canadian?" I can't really define it, but I've been trying to defend Canadian freedoms for the last year. I've been posting so much, so I have a different Instagram account that's more personal and like it's for my close friends I grew up with. I post all this stuff about the bills. I go through the bills and I talk about this is what they want to do with this bill. This is how it's going to affect us, about gas, oil and gas, tobacco, the freaking bill for the internet. No one gives a shit. No one.
Yeah, yeah.
If you don't give a shit, then you don't give a shit about being Canadian, or you don't give a shit about being in Canada, or what happens to you and the people in it. Like, it's crazy. Why am I, high school fucking dropout, going through the bills that they pass in Parliament and you're not?
Yeah.
Why do I care more than you? And I'm making noise about it, which is the most important thing. It's speaking up against it. It's speaking up about something. You know what I mean? So yeah, like that's why it's like, man, like what does it mean to be Canadian? I don't know, man.
Yeah.
And I wish I really had something to be more prideful about. You know, like in my last thing, I said I wanted. Oh, where's all the Canadian flags in Canada?
Yeah.
Remember, you showed me a comment. Someone's like, oh yeah, we don't fly flags in Canada. If you want that, if you fly flags, go to the USA. What?
Yeah.
How does that make sense?
But here's a funny thing. When I was in High River, actually, just going through the town, smaller town,
yeah,
older town, a lot more flags.
You know what? That's true.
Yeah.
Like in High River, right?
Yeah.
Because I was driving around there.
Yeah.
And there's like Canadian flags, like more places than
Exactly.
Yeah,
Then
that's
you would
true.
find more in a city. I mean, I know it's not. Maybe here it's not as much as a thing, but it's just. I don't know. It's different. It's different. I just think we're a bit too passive in our approach.
We are too passive. Yes.
We are a bit too passive. I think we could use more of that young blood youth. I don't even know how to explain it. It's just to go get it, right?
Yes.
And even the way that people support each other in the States, like, yeah, a lot of people obviously hate also, but there's also as much support, right? And then it encourages businesses, it encourages growth, because if you let people be entrepreneurs, create things, and you don't freaking tax them like crazy for everything they do, for breathing freaking air, then we would be able to do something, right?
Yeah.
To become something. So I'm not saying that there's no opportunity here, but it's much, much harder, right?
Yeah.
When you do ads or everything like that, like when you're trying to target different countries, there's like restrictions and it costs you more. And listen, it's just tough.
We're not as free as you
overall.
think.
Yeah.
Or it doesn't. You don't feel. I definitely don't feel as free as I think. I feel like thinking here, if you're an independent or if you're a contrarian thinker in Canada, you get punished for it, and you do.
And then you have those like core, for some reason, I don't know how they came about, but these really strong Trudeau supporters that are happy with the $250 that they gave, or like the carbon tax rebate, or
the carbon tax that they took from you and they're giving it back.
Yeah,
doesn't make sense.
And you know, when we have these conversations, they seem not to see it, right? Well, just because you bought your crib freaking a million years ago and then you're fine and you have nothing to pay, but it doesn't mean that like the situation of the country's better or whatever it is, or that it's going well. So I just think it's all these little things. And at the core, love Canada, will always will, just because of the opportunity and the platform or the baseline that it gave me. But if nothing changed, I think the election is supposed to be in October. But if it comes earlier, October 2025, but if it comes earlier, I hope Pierre wins. I believe he will. But if he doesn't, I don't know what the next 2 years would look like in Canada for myself.
I'll tell you, I won't know because I won't be here.
Yeah.
I'm gone, bro. If Trudeau gets in, it's rigged, it's broken.
Yeah.
And good luck, Canada.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit. Good luck to you guys. I paid enough taxes here. I put enough thought and effort into it, and I made some noise, and I tried to make some noise, but no one gives a shit.
Yeah.
Not like me.
Yeah.
You know, it's stupid. So that's what you get for being, you know, Canadian and caring about Canada. You quiet people. You know, that's your reward.
Yeah. Censorship.
Just like Alex said, we need that young blood. It's not even just young blood. And this is why I like America. Because in America, everyone's confrontational. In a sense.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's good and bad, but it keeps you on your toes and it checks you.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? We need more of that here.
Yeah.
We need more of that here. And I think in the last years in the States, like why Trump got elected was because all the people went quiet. And then during the election, it was everyone who went quiet that went to vote.
Yeah.
And it flipped the country.
Mm-hmm.
But prior to that, everyone stayed quiet and was like, oh, okay, we'll just see how it goes.
Yeah.
But as soon as people start standing up for themselves, look what happened. Trump wins.
Yeah, that's true. We just need to take action. And you really got to look at your family. You got to look at what you're trying to achieve. You got to look at where you want to be and see what movement you need to make. And that's just the truth. Because if you're fine and you don't care and you vote and you're like, it is what it is, you go about it and you're happy with that situation, fine. If you're thriving and you're like, hey, Canada works for me, it is what it is, that's great. But I'll tell you this, travel a little bit, look at other states, go to different countries, you will find different pieces, and then you can make a proper decision if this is where you want to fully see your future. But if the economy was right, and then we had stuff that you know promotes more businesses, where the taxes were a bit different and things like that, it will be a great place to be, to have a home base. It's friendly. There's different cultures. Like restaurants. Like there's a bunch of nice stuff, and like people are moving and bringing their culture and integrating. It's amazing. That's a beautiful part of it. But I think we need to come back to a better base of equality, where you don't feel like different cultures are taking more than others. And I think we just need at the core to just make more noise, be more bold, just understand that whoever you vote for, and then look at the future and see if it's right for you, right? See if it's right for you, but go travel, see elsewhere, and you will be surprised. Don't be so caught up with the news, okay? And that's one thing. And this is why, like, for me personally, I want to go visit Texas so much, and like different states, Arizona and all that, because the news will tell you one thing. They're always going to promote the bad, right? But go out there, feel the city, feel the scenery, look at the food, look at all of it, right? Yeah. You know, it's not like wherever you go, you just hear a gunshot. Like that's what it make it seems like, and everybody's scared. But Toronto, that's true. That's what I did. That's
this guy thought being a black man in Texas was probably the scariest thing. But bro, the population of black people in Texas is very large.
Yeah, that's true.
I spent a lot of time there, and it's not like, oh my god, a black person shoot them, bro. They're living there. But
it's exactly what they show, though.
That's
like,
what they show.
That's what they show. So
I think that's the point you're making.
Yeah. And I want people to go out there and go wherever you think you have an interest to be in, and then go and enjoy it and kind of get different perspective, and that's the only way that you can make a sound decision for your future and for where you want to be. Because you can't trust the media that much.
Well, you shouldn't trust them at all. It should just be like, oh, look, that happened. Okay, I'll take that with a grain of salt, and then I'll go make my own decision.
Exactly.
You never just look at something, just try to believe it. Like that's ridiculous.
Exactly.
Like Alex is saying, once you go, like I posted, oh yeah, I'm all for becoming I see a lot of benefits of becoming the 51st state. I work in the States often, and we can benefit a lot from blah, 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 blah. A lot of the people were like, just going nuts, man. You know, like, oh, this is treason. Go to the States then. You don't know nothing. School shooters this, more guns. Oh, they're all crazy. And I just commented, travel more. You will be surprisingly enlightened. Because that's exactly it.
Yeah.
You know, like, okay, let me tell you something. Is it Tennessee? One of the states. St. Louis. It's St. Louis? I think it's St. Louis. It's like the murder capital of the states. I didn't find this out till after, but I went there for work. Yeah. Came back and I found out that they were the murder capital of the United States. Do you think I thought about that once when I was there? Do you think I even noticed it? I had no fucking clue. Yeah. No clue. But apparently they are the murder capital of the states. Yeah. So there is perspective, like I went there. I didn't notice a thing, probably because of the area I was in. But what I'm saying is like, I wasn't going there with like, oh, I saw this piece on the news and I'm like super, super scared. Yeah. Like I wasn't like, oh my God, I saw it on Vice. I'm going to be I'm gonna be scared. I have to be careful. I have to lock my door. Like we were there, and it was fine.
Yeah, it's all perspective, and this is, I'm just pulling up something here that I want to show. One thing that I see here: population in Canada as of 2023, 40.1 million. Texas alone, 30.5 million.
Yeah, in one state.
In one state.
Yeah, so that's all Canada in one state.
Like think about this. Like those are the stuff that you guys need to think about. You need to see it from like you said, from that perspective. When you look at the crimes, the school shooting, well, I don't know, if you put a whole Canada in one state, just think about this. You put Toronto, Vancouver, Alberta, all these provinces, put them all like in Ontario, and tell me what happens. That's basically what it is.
What?
Right? So it's a perspective. It depends where you are. It depends on your location. So that's why the way they operate, the opportunities, it's different. It's completely different. So when you look at those stats, look at it with these numbers.
Yeah.
Right? It's not like it's spread out.
Yeah. And I'll say this, like, that's a good point. But the easiest way to look at it is, okay, if the United States is 10 times bigger than us, all right, then just multiply it by 10. If we have, for every one gun crime here, they're going to have 10 because they're 10 times bigger.
Yeah.
So it could still be a 1 to 10 ratio, but they're just 10 times bigger. So they have 10 times more technically.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? But it's still the same ratio. It's still the same. You're going to have the same problems.
Yeah.
They're just a bigger sample. You know what I mean? Like a number that you're going off of. Obviously, Canada has less gun violence because they're so strict here. It's funny because we are strict here and we still have gun violence. And they punish legal gun owners.
Yeah.
But we are 10 times smaller. So technically we should have 10 times less violence, right? Yeah. But I guarantee you, if we 10x the population, all the numbers are going to look exactly fucking same as the States.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of scale.
Yeah. And if you think about Toronto and stuff like that, like listen, violence is crazy. It's like, I think a lot of people in the state don't understand this, and they kind of underplay because we're Canadian. We're supposed to be nice, but hey, it's active.
I don't know about you guys, but
it's active.
I spent a lot of time in those Toronto streets when I was younger, and let me tell you, I've been around a lot of gang members, and I've seen a lot of guns, and I've seen a lot of crime, and there's definitely places you don't want to go at certain times. There's definitely people you don't want to be around, and you just don't want to be at certain places at certain times because you can get caught in the crossfire. It happens all the fucking time, and the cops can't do nothing about it.
That's for sure. There's different groups and stuff like that. So and it just got worse. So like with the years, but we're technically a gun-free country, but people still have them. Yeah. And I'm telling you, that's a good point. And you know what's crazy? It's not even the people that go and buy them that do it. Like think about it. The people that have their license and stuff, it's stored. They use it for their hunting when they go to the range, like whatever it is. And you can make the rules more strict. It still won't take that away, right? But what it does is that the people that have it, you have people or whatever members, they go out to settle their thing. There's people passing by that don't, obviously they don't carry. They're in a situation where they're, a bystander, a stray bullet. It only takes one. Mm-hmm. Somebody breaks into your house and they're pointing one, and it's like, how did you get it?
Oh yeah, I thought guns were legal, or like
yeah, well,
like
what I mean.
Technically are now.
It's
that's
the
thing,
very
right?
interesting.
They with all the crime, you think. And then they take away all the guns from the legal gun owners. You think that's gonna freaking stop a criminal from obtaining an illegal gun? Like they're so stupid.
Like it's not.
They're so fucking stupid.
It
doesn't make any fucking sense.
It's not gonna happen. So I just think I don't know what the future looks like. Hopefully, I think Pierre wins. Is the only one that has ideas that seems pretty progressive. Is he gonna be perfect? No. But if it goes back in the right direction, that's what we're hoping. But, I don't know what it means to be, not what it means to be Canadian, but I don't know what is the Canadian dream. And I think it's up to us to create it and define it. But it's going to take some time to rebuild.
Yeah. And you know what sucks? Pierre's going to get in office and is, just to change back to the normal, it's going to take years just to even get somewhere. Like he can't just get into office and all of a sudden it's fixed.
He's going to need like 2, maybe 3 mandates.
He's going to need like two what do you call it? Like he's gonna need 2 back-to-back PM sessions or whatever. What's it called, bro? Like he gets like what, 4 years?
It's 4 years.
Oh yeah, terms.
So he's gonna need So he's gonna need
like 8. Two terms.
2 terms.
4 years.
Yeah.
Each. Yeah.
So 8 in total. So that's what he's gonna need, and hopefully, he can come in and make an impact, and that's what we hope for. And I just hope that all goes well and people can be can feel strong about the economy, because at the end of the day, it's all about money, man. It's all about spending. Everything revolves around money, affordability. So if
Man.
that could be basically in check, use our resources. We're a big country too. Use our resources,
are.
make us a powerhouse,
Yes.
and then we'll be all right.
And that's the thing. I think we can become a powerhouse, but man, we are too progressive here. We are too small thinkers. We are too just baby, man.
Yeah.
We're too concerned about too many things except ourselves. Like the people. Canada could be so fucking awesome
Yeah.
if affordability was just like, imagine a house like this, like that we're in right now. It was like 300, 400K max. Affordability would be sick, man. You could do good.
Yeah.
You know, like I would be a lot happier here. People buying homes for like 300 grand, 400 grand, affordable, you know, like 2 incomes. You can do that,
Yeah.
but you can't. Not in the big cities. You know, you're not getting nothing.
Yeah, you're not. You're not. And although Alberta is one of the most, when it comes to houses, like most affordable within the country ish, where you still like, you know, you're still within the city, it's leaving. It's changing. It's going
It is
out.
slowly going away.
So I would say for our audience, and you know, we're a team here, and we're gonna tell you guys, act now, set yourself up now. Like you have to do this now, because if you're not in a position where you can have some type of abundance, or you don't, you know, if you feel like in the next few years you're not gonna move forward, whether in Canada or whichever province you're in, it's time to make moves now, because although we're gonna become, I guess if Pierre gets voted, we're gonna go back to a better direction. The price won't drop right away. You're still gonna have to make more money. You're still gonna have to be in a position where your investments are, you know, are in line. So I would just say, like, act now. Like, you need to have a sense of urgency, and that's what it is, and that's the message that we want to give you guys as well.
Yeah, position yourself, because whatever the future may hold, at least you'll have the ability to pivot and within your favor, opposed to not being ready, and then whatever happens is like, oh, I guess I have to do that now because, you know, cause and effect happened to me and I have no option, I have no choice.
Yeah,
it's better to have options and choices and be ready.
No, for sure. Like change your mindset. You know, don't be a victim. You still have an opportunity to change your life.
100%.
And you know, it only takes 1 year. You don't know how much 1 year can change your life. So I would tell you, I'll lock in, and it's time to really become your best self.
Yes.
And to move forward. And then again, you know, wishing you guys a happy new year, full of goals, full of ambition, full of health. There's going to be up and downs, but stay focused. Stay focused no matter what. The year goes by quick.
Yeah. I think the most important thing to end it off is just get locked in. 2025, get locked in and just focus.
Yeah. And you're on the right path. So on this note, episode 3, we're out.